You're going to keep going back until you get in the white school.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and I have a question for you, for all the people that are getting up there like I am. Now that you understand that we were here before them, now that you understand that we built all this before them, doesn't make it seem a little strange now? Like, just think back. Doesn't it seem a little staged now? Like, what if the whole civil rights movement was staged? Because honestly, if you think about it, we never needed civil rights. Think about it. We never needed civil rights. So what if it was all staged? You already know that Rosa Parks wasn't really the one who was getting put off the bus. It was a little pregnant 14-year-old girl. And they replaced her with Rosa Parks. Like Cedric said, all Rosa Parks did was sit her black ass down. She wasn't even the one getting kicked off the bus. It was, never mind. But doesn't, I don't know. And like, they just carried out heinous acts. I don't know. Just keep an open mind, man. Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And the more you guys discover, the more I think that the only reason why we won't get reparations is because this is an ongoing invasion. This is Black Wall Street, by the way. This is the reservation that she's talking about. Question to the Native Americans: why don't you guys do this like we did? Y'all don't find that strange? I mean, they were free. If you think about it, they were free. They had their own land. They can govern. They still govern themselves. They can do whatever the fuck they want. Why didn't they do this? Why don't we see something amazing like this? So yeah, the more I discover, the more I realize that we will not get reparations, because this is an ongoing invasion. Fight back.
Donald Trump is not a racist. He was on the Fresh Prince and the Oprah.
Huh? This is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And honestly, I was talking about that earlier while I was with a friend of mine. And I was telling him that I really don't think Donald Trump is racist. I really don't. There's a video of Donald Trump saying that if I run for president, I'm going to run as a Republican. And they were like, why a Republican? Why not Democrat? He said, because Republicans are the stupidest people in America. And they're racist. So all I have to do is say, I hate niggas, and they'll vote for me. And that's what happened. Genius. Genius. Something that we couldn't do because they would have been like, But he could do it. He's a billionaire. He's white. His wife is Russian. The niece of Vladimir Putin. He could do it. And he did it. He became president. The whole while, the whole time, he was moving pieces around in the background to get reparations for our people. And the only way to end this and give us true reparations is to be a dictator in a true nation. Because, like it or not, to be a dictator, you must be a king. And to be a king, you must be a dictator. Dictator just means evil king, if you think about it. So, what if Donald Trump gives us our reparations? I mean real reparations. Gives us the land back. Would you all be willing to move out of your apartments into a house in a black-owned town?
About it. Each year during the autumn equinox, people gather at the temple of Kukulkan.
Let's really talk about this, man. Hey, it's Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And like he said, the temple of Kukulkan. Like I told you before, I am Cheyenne. So I am part of the Kukumanga, the Northern Alliance. You understand? We are Ostershire's kids. X marks the spot. Another thing is, all these stars represent a pyramid. You feel me? So can you guess which one is in the center? Yeah, all the light. The sun is supposed to be able to pass through all of them simultaneously and hit the one in the center. And then you're supposed to make a wish. That's how the legend goes. You're supposed to be able to make a wish when all the pyramids are aligned and the sun shines through all of them. Make a wish. But y'all go check that out.
Jabawa is on.
And it's Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And I bet we're getting closer. I bet we're getting closer to figuring some shit out. I bet we're getting closer, motherfucker.
Decided to continue on with Marcellus Williams' execution tomorrow.
Honestly, you want me to be honest? I think that's P. Diddy, man. I really do. I think that's P. Diddy. Because this shit just happened out of nowhere. The same time you catch P. Diddy, you decide to execute him. That's strange. That is strange, bro. Like, but I think that's P. Diddy. But anyway, don't get distracted by this shit. Don't get distracted. We are getting too close to get distracted right now. Yeah, this is a tragedy. Yeah, it's sad. But think, do your research. Be surprised at what you find. 10 years, they still doing the same shit. Last time he was up for execution, who else did they arrest?
It was said, they are not going in the day, they are going in the night.
Hey, it's Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha. And if you don't know where that clip was from Trinidad and Tobago, saying that they are going to be the first people to land on the sun. And, you know, they said it was impossible. And then they said, we're going to land on the sun at night. So I was thinking, like, damn, it's not really an asteroid. They basically told you we're going to have 2 moons. So if we're going to have 2 moons, don't you think it's funny that we get 2 moons the same time we get 2 suns? Y'all don't think that that's 2 moons, 2 suns? I don't know.
They set his house on fire, but they nailed him inside the house and poured gasoline.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha, and I want everyone to remember that the apartheid South Africa, the apartheid Gaza, the apartheid world somehow was based off how they conquered us. This shit is crazy. And yet the whole world's resistance is based off of our resistance. And then you wonder why it's so important to stop your resistance.
Americans, specifically the Aboriginals.
So with that being said, now can we talk about this right here? Now can we really talk about this right here? Because I've been saying for a very, very long time that you people don't like this damn movie because it's talking about you. This is about the war between North and South America. I've told people that I am Cheyenne. My mother's from Albaba, my father's from Ohio. But since I'm born in the South, I am what my mother is. My mother is Cheyenne. Which means I am part of the Cucamonga Alliance. You remember the Cucamonga Alliance? They have the X. You see our flag all the time, but the crackers call it a Confederate flag. X marks the spot. Ostracized anywhere. That's what this whole thing was about. It was North Africa defending white people versus South America, South America trying to kill these white people. That's all. And y'all didn't like the fact that this movie portrayed y'all as house niggas. That's all. You just didn't like the fact that it betrayed you as house niggas. Otherwise, you would have loved the movie because it had great historical facts. He talked about the Mayans. They showed real Mayan pictures. Like real with dreads and dark skin and everything. They showed real Mayan pictures. He told the whole story about how Atlantis was right off the shore of South America. So I don't see how people didn't like it unless it had the truth in it. About how y'all black asses is still defending these fucking white people Despite everything, he went through the whole story about everything they did to his village. He put his entire village and civilization on his back and saved his people. Meanwhile, while he's over here destroying their weapons of destruction that can hurt us, we over here defending white people after they just got done trying to steal from us. Like, they just got done trying to, in this movie, it starts off in the movie with them stealing from us, trying to steal from us. And you want to defend them. That's why y'all didn't like that shit. Because it made the Wakandans, the North Americans, look like house niggas. Yeah. And it proves that y'all don't really want vengeance for real. Because she had a chance to kill him. And she couldn't do it. She had every right to kill him. I wouldn't even been mad if she killed him. And she couldn't do it. Y'all don't really want vengeance, y'all want peace. They don't really want peace. They want vengeance. And y'all just couldn't meet in the middle. Y'all just couldn't meet in the middle. That's what that whole thing was about. It was a war between North and South America, and y'all just couldn't meet in the middle about what to do with these white people. Or maybe I'm just high.
The buildings that we built was the Smithsonian Institution.
Yeah, we also built Mount Vernon, right there in Virginia. We also built Montpelier. I don't know if I said that right, but it sounded good. And here's something I found interesting. We also built the University of North Carolina. Honestly, we built the University of North Carolina. That's crazy. We built Georgetown University for all you racists up there. Of course, this is one of the Geechee forts that, you know what I'm saying, our elders don't know about. But this is a Geechee fort. So please show this to an elder so they know that we have been here for a long time. We've been here so long that we were defending ourselves against them. That's how long we were fighting them. And they still couldn't kill us. We also built Harvard Law School. We built a whole law school for them. And now they use it against us. That's crazy. And for all you Tartarians out there, my people built a star fort. My people built a star fort. That is a star fort, right? For all you Tartarians out there who say that the Tartarians couldn't be my skin complexion. But that's a star fort, though. That's a whole star fort. And they say that my people built it, and it is the oldest masonry in Florida. And it's the oldest masonry. And it's a star fort. All right.
Off with Storm in the new hair, but with the old outfit, with no mention of the journey that it took to get there.
And that's exactly why I stopped watching remakes. Because it's just a summary of our childhood, which really cheats the next generation. Because how, like she said, how can you appreciate anything that you see if you don't know the story behind it? Just don't watch it. Just have the kids sit down and watch our old shit. They'll love it more than the new stuff.
The majority of them are not even indigenous to this land. They are immigrants.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and you heard that right. The Black Caucus is made up of nothing but motherfucking immigrants. Yes. It's nothing but immigrants. So you know what that means. It's nothing but house niggas. Yes. Yes. Because anytime you sit there and you worship white people to hinder your own people, well, I guess we're not your people though, are we? So could it be that the legends are true and that the Africans actually came over here as mercenaries to help the... So you mean to tell me that Hattie Mae right here, who's looking up to this Creole, because she's not white, she's Creole, she's from Louisiana, she's passing. If you've been on my page long enough, you understand what passing means. Then that would mean that Miss Hattie Mae here is probably from Africa or India. So now that everything is getting exposed and we know that the Black Caucus is nothing but immigrants, which makes that they are illegally representing a people that they are not, without our knowledge, can we get some 20-year-olds who don't give a fuck and put them in office? Let's try that.
Yeah, that right there. That's a mushroom cloud.
If you really think that those Nazis sat there and dropped a damn nuclear bomb on Lebanon when Israel is right next to it, because you do realize that nuclear explosions spread 500 miles in radius. It spreads 500 miles in radius, so Israel would be knocked out. It was a regular bomb, baby. That's all. It was a regular bomb.
So you brought traumatized, malnourished, and confused individuals into a land.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and it gets a whole lot deeper than that. Did you know that supposedly when they brought the supposed African slaves over here to America, did you know that they could speak to the indigenous people and that they used African slaves for negotiation with indigenous people because they spoke the same language? Yeah, go look that up. They'll tell you. Did you know that Native Americans will only mix and breed with so-called African slaves, as they often refer to them as gods or great bears or cousins? Did you know that to be a bear, you have to be a cousin? Yeah, I know, right? Did you know that the very first Farmer's Almanac, anyway, did you know the very first mass food crop growing book, I guess, was actually created by a so-called African who, like she said, is not indigenous to this land? Did you know that it was actually Haiti? Yes, Haiti, because Napoleon is really from Haiti, because Napoleon is really Jean-Jacques. You remember that name, because you know in the Louisiana Purchase, Illinois was included in that Louisiana Purchase, which really wasn't a purchase at all. It was a fucking peace treaty, because the entire East Coast belongs to Haiti, because Haiti helped defend the white Americans during the Civil War. Did you know?
You know what trend is giving me the ick right now? And I hit not interested every single time. I don't even let the videos play, but
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And young lady, that will never happen. Not only are we the definition of masculinity, we're also the definition of femininity. We are the definition of cool, funny, culture. We are the definition of life. So even if they stop looking at us as the definition of masculinity, my God, it's too early for this, they will still fear us, because it's not imitation, it's fear. You understand? We are people that they still couldn't conquer. Look at Africa. Look at Asia. Look how the whole world worships white people, but we only tolerate them. And the only reason why we tolerate them is because the whole world believed a lie. You understand? They will always fear us because we never worship them. Never once. We never worship them. Hell. And on top of everything else, we are truly the leaders of the free world. We are the true leaders of the free world. Everybody that comes here doesn't even go to the U.S. government to beg for a peace treaty. They come straight to us. Think about that. When the Vietnam War needed to be stopped, the Vietnamese came to us. Think about that. The Korean War, the Koreans came to us. Hell, that's why the Koreans started handing out flyers saying, "Black man, go home." Hell, the Germans originally wanted to recruit us. Yes. And now look at Palestine. Palestine wants this war to be stopped, and they are on their hands and knees begging us to get involved, and we refuse. And they're mad about that. Instead of being mad with the U.S. government and the world government, they're mad at us because we don't want to deal with that. We are the original freedom fighters of this world. We are the world leaders of freedom. So no, sweetheart, if white people stop playing us, cosplaying us, it won't stop anything. It won't stop anything until we put them in the dirt. And I don't want them buried in my land. I don't want them buried in my land, and I don't want them buried in the ocean. I don't know, just put them in a steel box and just do something with them. You feel me? But it'll never stop. Not until they're dead. So they deleted a video. They didn't even give it 3 minutes. They deleted my video because I said that Israel was in Africa terrorizing Africans, just like they said they were going to do at the UN meeting. Meanwhile, all of you are distracted by P. Diddy, who does not equate to Epstein because P. Diddy has never dealt with world leaders, politicians. Oh, but he helped Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is a sex slave. How do you know that she wasn't brought to the politician by P. Diddy? People, boy, the internet is dead. It's Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha, and I have a question that I have to get out of my head so I can stop thinking about it and the universe can answer it. So, we were invaded. When we were Tartaria, we were invaded. Okay. Question, and it's a question that's always been around. Before we had Christianity, what did we worship? That's question number one. Question number two, why do you think that they blew up churches? I mean, yeah, there's geometric this and synergy that, but really, you're just listening to what white people are saying. You have to be smarter than that. What if they were burning down libraries? What if they were burning down whole libraries and genealogical records so we would never find out what the fuck really happened? Has anybody seen a newspaper? That's why I say history is made up after the fucking 1600s. History's made up. And I don't mean like all the books before the 1600s. No, I mean like after the war, after they invaded us in the 16 and 1700s, after they successfully burned down our fucking libraries and genealogical records, they literally sat there and commissioned people to write a fairy tale. Okay. Y'all let me know what you find.
And my great grandmother was as white passing as that woman was in that movie Mulatto or whatever.
Hi, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and that's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. I've been telling you people for a very, very long time that we have always had people that pass for white. Everyone's told you for a very long time we've had people that pass for white. This entire family is black. You can tell the dad is black. You can kind of tell the mom is black, but look at their kids. Look at their hair. They are all passing for white. So, there is a reason why Europe said what they said.
I got questions, bruh. Dougie, why Kamala last name not Imhoff like yours?
You ever been so smart that you lack common sense? That's how I feel right now. I feel like I was being so smart that I lack common sense. Her husband's last name isn't Harris. Are they even married? Are they even married?
Anything to keep me motivated to bring you great stories and new content.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And I'm here to let you know that we're about to enter phase 3. Y'all go check out Gaddy though. He really do have some great content. But y'all see my fat face. Go check out this video with my fat face. Cause I talk about how we are no longer gonna pay people for being on the internet. I go into very short, very deep details about how we're not gonna be paying people to be on the internet. And we've been doing it. We've been doing it. We've been doing it on YouTube. We've been doing it on TikTok. We've been doing it everywhere. And we are going to stop it. We are going to stop it. We are going to stop letting you people get paid on the internet. We're going to put you guys in schools and universities. Be happy. Because, yeah, this is going to be hard. This is going to be rough. Because a lot of people are making money off the internet. But if you really have skills, then you can be put into school. We are about to enter phase 3, and phase 3 is we're going to pretend to shut down the internet. And at the same time, we are going to wipe everything from the internet. So when you come back, everything will be gone. I suggest you people get a hard drive. Get 3 of them if you can. And get a copper lockbox. Because when we set off that EMP, ain't nothing really going to survive. And that's just another thing that's always been so weird to me. Like, have y'all ever heard of makeshift houses? You know, like Hollywood be doing, like they'll make the face of it, but the back of it is empty. And I always wonder, like, could the back of it be empty? Like, could that just be a little makeshift house that they put up to make it seem like, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird to me, man. It's just weird because, so y'all had all that technology all over the world, right? But it still took y'all almost 1,000 years to conquer us. And all we were supposed to be in these, but y'all had guns and bombs. Almost 1,000 years, and y'all still couldn't beat us. But we were in these, so. All right.
African Americans is going to cost another 17 trillion.
Or just hear me out. You could give us our fucking land back. You could just give us our land back. Because I already know we're not going to get reparations because we, the slave owners, already got our reparations. They don't want to admit to white people that they used to be our slaves. That's why they can't hand out reparations. Because then they have to explain the lie. So either they go along with the lie and give us the money and the land, or they tell the truth, give us our land back, give white people a useless currency, and then kick them out of the country. That is their only 2 options. The only 2 options.
Pager, terrorism by Israel, supporting every single aspect of it.
So I found out what the distraction was and why Diddy's all over the place all of a sudden. The world court is about to find Israel guilty of espionage, sabotage, and terrorism in Africa. Can I ask y'all something? And I'm a man, so I'm not finna say excuse my ugly face, man. Fuck y'all. I'm a man. I ain't here to look pretty for you, folks. Can I ask y'all something, though? How can you fight a three-way war and still go to Africa and terrorize? Take Gaza out. Gaza is a genocide. We don't care about that. Iraq, Iran, Lebanon, and Yemen are shooting missiles at you. Supposedly. So, it's another genocide across the board on our people. And again, the Arabs are in on it because they're fucking cousins.
Astronomers talking about they thought the motherfucker was an asteroid. Now they saying it's...
So, what are you guys gonna do at the end of the world? I was thinking about skiing.
Yes, Oliver Cromwell was black.
You know, the more I find out, the more it gets strange. So, you see, we already had names like James and Earl and Cromwell. So is English literally our natural language? Because you go to England, they don't talk English. You go to Britain, they don't talk British. And they always talk about the old ways of talking and everything. And honestly, if you ever hear somebody from the old ways of talking British or English, they sound like they're talking African. So, here's a question. They said in the law that all slaves have to have their master's last name. Now that we know that we've always had English names, can we fucking sit here and say that these white people have our last names because they were our slaves? Dear Black America, if you would have just kept the same energy like you have for him, the government would have collapsed ages ago. Looking a lot like Harry Potter, Motto.
America is the land of the Moors. In 1845, a congressman...
No, it's not. No, it's not. Please leave.
We're not gonna act like they didn't just drop pictures from the Titan submersible, like they didn't tell us it imploded.
Yeah. So I suggest everybody go, you know what I'm saying, go look at the real Kaya. Because her mom said before this was even national news, that they were sacrificed to Oceana and the Leviathan of the deep. And the Leviathan wasn't satisfied, and it continues to come up to the surface. Y'all go check her out.
In app development, cybersecurity, we need y'all to step up to the plate in ASAP.
And this is when they start shutting everything down.
On the dollar, there's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of pyramids in North America.
And you know what this makes me think of? This makes me think of the whole upper and lower Kemet situation, like Mary and Ta-Nehisi, which is why I'm named Ta-Nehisi. It stands for Southern. Mary stands for Northern. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that shit. That's all that means. Ta-Nehisi means southern. Ta-Mary means northern. Yeah, I don't get it. You know, because Jesus was born in the north by Mary. Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And this is what I mean when I say everything is legal until you say the word no. These are Blue Lodge brothers. As you can see, he outranks him. It is a very common practice for all outranking members to sleep with the lower rank's daughter. And it's completely legal. It is completely legal until you say the word no, and then you disappear. So, please understand that I doubt anything is really going to happen because he never said the word no.
Teepees. And y'all out here building pyramids.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and I have been saying this for the longest. I have been saying this for the longest. How can y'all still have these, right? To this day, y'all still have these. But you want us to believe that y'all built this. Or this. And this one's actually in America. Or this. Here's a better question. Okay, so you don't have the people or the resources to rebuild all this. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Here's a better question. If this is really your culture, then why don't you continue the living patterns of your culture? Have y'all ever seen a reservation? It looks nothing like the living pattern of this ancient culture. It looks nothing like it. But I bet if we were given a chance, I bet we would just do it naturally. I bet my people would just do it naturally. This is where we worship. This is the town hall meeting and everything. Living quarters. Downtown. A quarry, a trading hall. Why don't you still mimic your culture's living pattern? And then they are destroying pyramids right now and you're not even saying anything about it because it's not yours. That shit crazy.
Just tell us, why do I see one of your cover arts and you've displayed yourself as an African-American gentleman? And in your song...
I'm telling you, man. For a bunch of people that don't have culture, something real strong about it.
The Brotherhood has already said that you're supposed to get your planet back. Now what's it gonna be?
Now, quite honestly, I feel like this is the same question that was faced to us back in the 18 and 1700s, really in the 1600s. And what I think is, they let it go for a generation, and then they attack. They wanted us to forget they were our enemies, and then they attack. Well, a divide is coming up. And everybody is going after these sundown towns, and everybody is going after these races. Your best friend be on those racist websites talking about you. When all that gets exposed, I wonder if that's still gonna be your friend. But I don't know. I'm just being petty. Sometimes it's good to be petty with conspiracies, man. But just imagine if you were able to see all your white friends' messages, and all you had to do was just type in your name in their phone, and all their messages about you would show up. A lot of y'all will keep that relationship just to say you have a white friend. And this is what I'm talking about. Everybody's looking at the CEOs for music companies to get arrested. But look at this, bro. Seriously, look at all this. People in government positions, people like this, are stepping down around the world ever since the UN banned Israel. The UN banned Israel. Damn, people, the UN banned Israel. Damn. Now, do you see the African Arab? Because the Arabs and the Africans are related. Now you see their Ashkenazi cousin. This dude right here. The news is fake. Al Jazeera lied. CNN lied. Everyone's lying. Everyone is in on the distraction. You get me? They're all related to each other. They are related. So the Nazis and the damn Africans are bloodline united.
Nobody thinks that it will benefit America to become more like Haiti. Nobody thinks that.
Now, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. Now, if you are able to read between the lines and able to see everything that's going on, he is speaking for the Nazi Israelis. And they are pleading with the world court right now, saying, you can't kick us out or it's going to turn into what Haiti is. Now, obviously the UN knows that the only reason that Haiti is the way that it is because of the Israelis. So they are still demanding that the Israelis leave and are starting to shut down synagogues around America. They're shutting down synagogues, and that's why all these rabbis are being arrested. Did y'all forget about the rabbis that have been arrested for the past 7 months? All of them for gun, drug, and human trafficking. The Israelis are pleading with the world court to let them stay in control of this government. What little government there is. Do not let your emotions hinder you from reading in between the lines. Hey everyone, it's Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And I see the distraction is getting bigger. So now It's finally happening, supposedly. Because remember the last time that everybody was supposed to go to jail and no one but the black man went to jail? Because the government is in on it. They're about to release the P. Diddy list before they release the Epstein list. If Epstein was his real name. Strange. Wasn't he a spy for the CIA? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, can somebody out there please find out 3 things for me? 1, I need to find out if France and Germany has allied against Russia. Yeah, I need you to find that out. 2, I need you to find out if the Free Republic of West Africa is trying to take control of South Africa. Yeah, I need you to find that out. And then 3, and this is very, 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 very important. This is number 3. I need you to find out if Barbados has started to send soldiers into Haiti to drive the UN out. Well, this has been Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and that distraction is getting big. Y'all have a good day. What are they trying to distract you from? Because it's all a damn distraction.
Or not stone, not clay, synthetic wood that you can punch a hole in.
The world of imagination. You know, I've been thinking about the whole situation with the breeding farms. And what if the breeding farms isn't what we thought it was? What if, because I was thinking like about what I said earlier about how homunculus chimeras can't last outside of one generation. In other words, the original generation has children and then that's it. So what if the breeding farms that we had back then, what if we were breeding with them voluntarily? Think about that for a second. What if to keep slaves, we voluntarily bred with them to keep their bloodline going? Unknowingly realizing we were making bastard children. Africa, India, pretty soon all of Asia, South America, pretty soon Mexico is going to join, and pretty soon I feel like the Caribbeans are going to join if they get the opportunity. Everyone is joining up for this currency, and the only people who are going to still use this currency are the allied forces. and the Allied forces do not like you. They do not like you at all. Do not listen to people when they say, oh, he's just trying to keep up a racist narrative. I'm not keeping up a racist narrative. You can look around right now. If you would just stop denying the truth, stop trying to make yourself delusional and disattached from.
Now, all police organizations are called what? Fraternal orders of police. Come on, Africans. They're fraternal. That's all the police organizations are fraternal orders, or the benevolent something or another. Am I right or wrong? Now, do you think that while you up in the criminal court building, they all standing on the square and doing all kind of shit, and you suffering, that they don't know something that we don't? So what I'm telling to you is that the Masonic activity infiltrated the implementation of the law. And they all work under the blue-coded system. The lower lodges 1, 2, and 3 are blue lodges. It isn't until you get to the 4th degree that you can then get off into the Masonic Scottish Rite thing. And the Albert Pike say that in the first 3 lodges, they only think they know the truth. It isn't until the 4th that we start to teach.
P. Diddy just got arrested.
What happened?
He was arrested by Homeland Security in New York after a grand jury.
Well, y'all get ready for your new distraction. And let me know what you find. They pretty though, ain't they? Hey, this fat man Buddha, please had a Buddha, and I decided to be goofy today. I decided, let's talk about some anime. Because a lot of people don't know that I'm an anime fan. So, for all my conspiracy theories, I've already told you about how One Piece is the story of 2 things. One, it's the story of what it's like beyond the wall. And a lot of you people have a misconception of what the wall really is. See, you think way too small. And because you think so small, you have this mental wall. And you don't understand that if you just keep going north of Canada, you'll eventually hit Europe. And that's why Europe says it sits on top of the world. Go ask a Freemason. Ask a Freemason what is the nautical position of Europe, and a Freemason will say it sits on top of the world. Because if you go north of Canada, you'll hit Europe. But I digress. I recently started saying that Christopher Columbus is really Sinbad. And what I mean by that is Sinbad, the original Sinbad, not the new Disney Japanese Sinbad. I'm talking about the original Sinbad from like ABC Kids. The original Sinbad when Sinbad was black. That's, yes. He had to return the jewel back to a foreign land because it was stolen. Christopher Columbus had to return the Jews back to America because they were stolen.
Africans hate privilege on melanated folks.
And that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, and yet I believe it. Did you know that you could literally get 30 and 40% off when you go visit Jamaica, Haiti, South America? Simply for the fact that you have melanin in your skin. Like, a Haitian will see you, but like, don't worry, I'm gonna give you a discount. You know what I'm saying? It's unity on the west side of the world, but they don't have that in Africa. One of the most solid black countries in the world, and they don't have it. I'm telling you, man. They just like the Arabs. They are just like the Jews, Nazis, whatever you want to call them, bro. They are not like us. Because how can you hate melanin when you have it?
A fun fact about slavery that most people don't know is of the 10.7 million people stolen from Africa, 10.4 million were.
Now explain to me how a small nation like Europe can hunt down 10.7 million people when there's not even that many white people in the world. You gotta think about it. Even if you have guns and cannons, 10.7, and then it's nothing about it makes sense. Nothing about it makes sense at all. 10.7 million, but only 400,000 came to the United States. So they had to have breeding farms. You see how dumb that sounds?
Said that she hates her melanin.
Melanin Queen, this post isn't for you.
And this is exactly what everybody's talking about when they said that African people kind of hate themselves, man. And that everyone's kind of jealous because we don't have a slave mentality. After everything we went through, we don't have a slave mentality. We don't worship them like the world does. That's crazy. Imagine hating yourself so much that you destroy your own self. Destroy what God made you. Damn, man. I could never. That's why I say I can't be from Africa, but their mind too weak.
Downtown, specifically at 12 a.m. with a switch and see what.
Finally, can we get back to that? Finally.
Feeling of gratitude for a service or favor. For a
So if none of this is real, then the money isn't real, and it's all about satisfaction.
He refused to go to the hospital. That's how upset he is.
So are we witnessing a spy war right now? Because with all the spies that are being exposed, it wouldn't surprise. What's up, y'all? It's Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And into today's class, we are going to be talking about bloodlines and what I've discovered so far. So let's get into it. So they say that the Asian and the albino, or, are related. That's really supposed to be the Arab. But that's not true. That's not true at all. See, the African, the Ashkenaz, and the Arab. Did y'all know that those three were blood related? This is supposed to be the 5 pillars of life, by the way. You know the 5 pillars of life. The Mon, the Son, the Twi, the Twa, and the Khoi. They're called the 5 pillars of life because they built a language. You can find the Khoi in Asia, Song Khoi. The san and koi are in Asia. Hariko-san. Mahito-san. You see what I'm saying? The twee and the trois are in France. Montois, Montuy. The 5 pillars of life. But what about the mon and the sun? The moon and the sun? The moon is South America. The sun is North America. Yeah. That's deep, isn't it? So, the African, the Ashkenazi, and the Arabs are all working together, which means that the news is fake. The news is fake, but it's real. And what I mean by that is, every time they say that it's a war going on between these three, it's not a war. It's a genocide to wipe out our people around the world. World War I was a genocide. World War II was a genocide. World War III is going to be the genocide. It's just been, we are part of the longest ongoing genocide in the world because we're the only ones being killed. I told y'all before that we actually colonized all of West Africa and Europe. We did. That's why you see our feather everywhere. That's why. Yeah, you see our feather everywhere. Everywhere you see our feather, that's our kingdom. So Europe belongs to us, all the way from Northwest Africa all the way down to Southwest Africa. And like 2 or 3 East African. That belongs to us. That belongs to us. So this whole thing has been a world rebellion against us. Because we would not let them get sovereignty because they were too dangerous. They were too spiteful. So what they did was they convinced the children of the 13 colonies, which is Europe, the West Africas, I want to say Ireland. No, Ireland was the first to fall because Ireland is really Haiti. No, I'm sorry. Ireland is really Scotland. Stop. Haiti is really Scotland. Jamaica is really Ireland. That shit gets deep, huh? Highlander starts making sense, huh? There can only be one. Okay. So, these 3 came up with a plan to get our descendants to rebel against us. They were already planning a rebellion, but it was going to be a civilized rebellion. Like, they were going to stop paying taxes, so to speak. Damn, how can I explain this? Back then, when it comes to royalty, paying taxes means that you send a bloodline royal back to the mainland to be trained, to be indoctrinated, basically. to stop all rebellions. But you see, there's a certain rule within Tartarian society. And it's a rule around the world, really. And that rule is, when you have an albino child come out of your bloodline, while you are in rulership, that means that your bloodline has come to an end. Because once you have an albino, that means that your bloodline is no longer at its strength, so to speak. So you must either step down or marry a new bloodline onto the throne and let them rule. Guess who came up with a damn albino child? We did. And guess who was demanding that we step down? The representatives of the 13 colonies. That shit's stranger than what you think it is. That shit's stranger than what you think it is. But you see, the 13 colonies, they weren't really respecting the law either. Because a lot of them was having albino children and not telling anyone. So to keep peace, the Tartarians, the 5 Tartarian families, sent their firstborn sons and daughters who are albinos, so the 13 colonies could be married into pure royalty. And yes, essentially, it worked for a while. But it wasn't real sovereignty. They still had to pay homage. So they resented that. So, these 3, the Arab, the Nazi, and the African, they decided to put our children against us by saying that if they helped in the war, they would be free. Not realizing that once they defeated us, they became part of the prey. Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha. And you ever feel like the universe is gaslighting you? I've been feeling like that for a minute. So it says, under whatever name known, the object of the society politically has always been to overthrow of the Tartarians, of the Tartars, and generally the formation of a mutually prospective association. Thus, the chief of the what? Of Esau. So they really are the children of Esau. Which I don't really believe, because the only way to be a child of Esau is to be an albino.
How Old English sounded like.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha, and I am here to tell you that I do not believe that bullshit at all. I do not believe that bullshit in no way, shape, or form, because you gotta understand, they couldn't speak our fucking language. They can speak it, they can understand it. They couldn't make their tongue move the way that we move to speak our language. So I call utter bullshit on that. There is no way in hell that is old English bullshit.
I told y'all,
Hey, Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha. And that is a very, very beautiful thing, isn't it? He was buried with honors. That's the only way you can get, you feel me, to get raw going all over your chakras. He was buried with honors. He was a good pharaoh. Question, and this is a really, really good question. Why aren't the mummies in Egypt buried like that? I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all, this is Westworld. And everything you see on TV is fake as fuck. That is fucking Hollywood. That is Hollywood. All that shit is a lie. I don't know how else to explain it other than to show y'all. But please believe, for that shit is a fucking lie.
Start some bullshit, and Iran ended up, whooping Israel's ass at sea.
And that's why they feared this man right here. They really did fear this man. He said that America will never win another war on the ground. They've been losing every war. Ukraine is losing. Israel is losing. Palestine is actually winning. Egypt has betrayed Israel. That's amazing. This man. So what if he's the one to come back? What if he's the one that everybody thought was dead, but in actuality, he's alive? What if he's the... Never mind. Y'all not on that shit for real, never mind.
Chicago World's Fair of 1893. All right.
What's up, man? This is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And I just want to say, do you see what I mean when I say it doesn't make sense? In 1893, what was going on? They were still bombing and having race riots all over the place. In 1893, they were still having race riots. So when the fuck did they have time to take those fucking pictures? When the fuck did they have time? How? No one has explained to me yet. No one has explained to me yet how in the world can two civilizations coexist, but they have no interactions with each other. We're Tartarians, man. We are Tartarians. How the hell is America known as the land of the Master Masons, but everybody's in tents? Alright. You know what would be funny? If we go off into the woods thinking the whole time that we went through a genocide and we were just separated. She's a whole villain, and this is her backup squad.
They didn't ran y'all dry for over 100 years.
Yep.
Y'all mean nothing to them.
Yep.
Now, I in no way want you to think that that means that you are worthless, because he's not implying that you're worthless. You're worth a lot, actually. See, you have to understand that you are worthless to them because they can't fuck with you no more. They can't pull bullshit on you no more. Like, you feel me? It's like when somebody hits you up after like almost a month, and the first thing they ask for is some money. Because you've always been a nice person, and you always let them get away with shit. But not today, though. Yep. This is something that I love to do. Now, as you can see down here, this man right here, he's Puerto Rican. Now, They say that this man is African, but look how he's dressed. Look how he's dressed, and look at the spear he's holding. Now, spears are very important because spears are unique to every single tribe in the world. There is not one spear that's supposed to be the same unless it came from the same tribe. Spears are very important. Spears are very important because it lets you know your lineage. And I wish they had a clearer picture, a very clear picture of the details on the spear. But from the look of it, it looks like a double set spear. You see that little dent right there? That means there's an extra weight in the middle of it. Now, it's rare to even see a spear like that. Those spears only exist in movies, for real, because it's rare to see it in the real world. So, what if he's Puerto Rican? Like a real Puerto Rican. Like I wish I could get a better picture of him. But just look at him. He looks like a fucking Puerto Rican. Look at his attire. It looks like a Puerto Rican. Literally, go look. Go look. So what if he's a Puerto Rican? Hi, my name is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. I'm here to make conspiracy theorists mad. On both sides. So you see, no matter what you do, you can't get outside the fact that white people didn't create Christianity, we did. And Russia proved that. Here's something that's funny though. No matter what Christianity does, they proved that Egypt was right. Proving that the Grand Canyon culture and the Mississippi River Nile culture is the longest culture in history.
These white kids from doing what they're doing at schools? Why does this keep...
This culture that give America cultural influence all over the world, man, that come from us, man.
And I really do think that's why they're jealous. Like, honestly. Because think about it. Their grandparents lied to them their entire life about who they were. And when they found out who was really behind it, it was us. So yeah, I can imagine how the world would feel. Hey, it's Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and I'm here to piss off conspiracy theorists, people. 'Cause y'all like to pick and choose what y'all get pissed off about. So I have a question. Y'all don't think that Yaki Awakening and Rashid Jamal looks the same, sounds the same, acts the same? Y'all don't think it's funny that as soon as Rashid Jamal goes to jail, Yaki Awakening comes out of nowhere? Carry on.
Maybach music.
Tupac back, all eyes on me.
They never get off the plane looking for you. You never get a memo from these people.
And this is what I mean when I say Attack of the Clones. Like, go back and you take out all the craziness and just look at it. Because I tell people all the time that Star Wars is the storytelling of Prester John. And if you know who Prester John is, then you know how, because not everybody knows that space is nothing but fucking water. Come on, I don't think. Think the story right there. That's why I said, man, we right there, but we not there. Because a lot of people don't want to look at the history in the movies and tie it to real life. Like, because it turns out the Medicis were actually related to Prester John.
And then she said,
Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha. And once again, I am telling you, go back and watch that fucking movie. It's a movie. It's not a series. It's a fucking movie. It is a movie, bruh. And all you have to do is watch that movie once. If you know about Tartaria, if you know about this whole thing, you just watch that movie once. And remember that these aren't white people. They are albinos. They are albinos. You cannot remove albinos from our history. They are a very key, important part to learning what the fuck happened to us. Because albinos, who are the masters of alchemy, the real masters of alchemy, created what we think are white people. They are robot soldiers. They are monsters. They are homunculus chimeras. They are soulless beings. They don't exist. You understand? Go back and watch that movie and everything will make sense to you.
Talk about this slave boat. You came on a slave boat called the Manila Gala. The Manila Gala.
And that's why it's time for us to stop thinking that everybody was a slave that came here. Nobody was a slave. Let's just put it. Let's just put it outside of white people, homunculus chimeras. Everyone else who came here was not a slave. They were part of the invading forces of the entire world. The entire world came against us because they all said that we had to be stopped. We were in control of too much food. We were in control of too much fresh water. We were in control of too much energy. And we were in control of too much power. Fuck that shit. We need to have a discussion about how Tartaria and a whole bunch of TP people can be around each other, and yet the history that they had contact with each other doesn't exist. But this is Tartaria. This land that we on, this is Tar America, Tar Hardis. This is Tartaria. So someone please shift your direction. You know what? I'll do it. Don't worry.
Let Lil Wayne get his. Kendrick Lamar should have declined.
Okay, so what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna mess with the greatest rapper of our generation. Regardless if you want to acknowledge it or not, he is the greatest rapper of our generation. You have to think about the genius of Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne wrote for Nicki Minaj, Drake, the new version of Squad Up. That entire group, he wrote for the entire group. This man wrote for over 20 people and made them all sound different. Lil Wayne sat there and wrote for 20 different people at one time, and they all sound different. Y'all really do need to leave Lil Wayne alone. There is a reason. There is an absolute reason why Kendrick Lamar asked Lil Wayne not to be involved. And that reason is because Lil Wayne is too great. Lil Wayne, Kendrick Lamar made a diss song that made everyone dance. Lil Wayne would have made an entire album. He would have made 5 different albums dissing Kendrick Lamar and sent them through 4 different people. And the one that would have hit the hardest, he would have came out with himself. Do not fuck with Lil Wayne. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar's nice. Kendrick Lamar got bars. Kendrick Lamar got skills. But when it comes to being a sociopathic genius with a pen and paper, that is Lil Wayne. Again, Lil Wayne wrote for Young Thug. Let this sink in for a second. Lil Wayne wrote for Young Thug. Lil Wayne wrote some of Gucci Mane's songs. Again, leave him the fuck alone. Let Kendrick Lamar enjoy his win.